Welcome to Short Circuit Effects. This video will be covering the basics of devices. As you can see, I've laid out a number of devices just to give you an example of each one and what they do. Generator, in essence, creates or begins the creation process of your terrain. In this case, you can see the advanced Perlin node. If you double click on it, you'll see all the parameters that you can use to change your terrain generation. And something like a radial grad, for example, is basically just a grad. You can then move into combiners. Skip output for a second. You'll see that there is 3 main combiners, and for now I'll just show you what combiner does. It just joins 2 generators together. You can see in this case you can do an average or an additive function, so on and so forth. Moving forward to filters. Filters actually adjust and change the way that your current terrain looks like, and there's a bunch of filters here which we'll cover in another video. And then we've got erosion. There's different erosion types. That's all under natural. You can see there is coastal erosion, which is the main and most commonly used one. You've got other things like rivers, reach, snow, and thermal weathering. These I suggest that you put closer to the end of your terrain generation. After you get the general shape of what your terrain should look like, then you can start to erode it, make it look natural. This simulates the rainfall or sun effect or other weather effects on your terrain shape in order to produce a natural looking terrain. And then last but not least is the output. There's a number of different types of ways that World Machine will output. You've got the mesh output, which is essentially geometry that you're able to save out as OBJ once your terrain is done. You can increase or decrease the resolution of the geometry to have it extremely high resolution and very low resolution. And then you've got your overlay view, which essentially combines your texture, which you can create here, and your 3D view or your terrain generation. You've got a number of other devices, ancillary if you will, such as selectors. Selectors allow you to select different parts of your terrain in order for you to modify them or to use them as textures. You can see here, this is a height selector. It selects the height of the terrain as a black and white image. And then you've also got things like converters. Converters are custom nodes that allow you to do things like colorize or add a ray tracing light map to your terrain, as well as a normal map maker. In this case, if I just plug the normal map maker in to demonstrate, you will see that you have a normal map. You can here flip X and Y, RGB encoding types. And moving forward, you've got things like parameters, which are mathematical functions. And you'll notice that these parameters won't be able to directly plug into your input or output nodes, but they will plug into the topmost nodes of each devices. And these are furthermore used in creating macros and other plugins. You've got other things like curves, which we won't discuss until advanced lessons, and flow control, which is again things like pickers, routers, and switches, which you're able to switch between inputs, and again used in macros and plugins and lots of other types. And that's the basics of your devices. Hope that helps. Thank you.